This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV for Friday, October 20th, 2023. I'm Derek Gilbert with our Friday 5, the 5 big stories of the week as we head into the weekend. Of course, for us in the Skywatch TV family, one of the big stories is the status of Tom Horn. Obviously, we're not set up to do breaking news here, but we will have some more on Tom's condition after the break. Topic number 5 this week, of course, is Israel. You know that this week President Biden made an historic visit to Israel, flying into effectively a war zone to meet with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He was supposed to go from Jerusalem to Amman, Jordan afterwards for a summit to be hosted by King Abdullah of Jordan, which would feature Biden, King Abdullah, the President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and Mahmoud Abbas of the Palestinian Authority. Now, why he was invited is a mystery to me. Conveying that kind of authority on Abbas is puzzling, since the Palestinian Authority doesn't really control much other than the city of Ramallah in Samaria, what the world calls the West Bank. Hamas really has more power than the Palestinian Authority at this point. Anyway, that summit was canceled at the last minute because of the fire at the hospital in Gaza, which we'll talk about in just a moment. This really a sign of disrespect to President Biden, in my view. It's not being reported that way by most in the major corporate media, but when the president travels, there are a lot of moving parts. Security, not just close by him personally, but as far as air travel, rerouting other flight paths so that nothing comes near Air Force One, the motorcade on the ground and so forth, and getting the vehicles there, the Beast, so that when he travels on the ground, he's got the approved Secret Service vehicle. There are a lot of things that have to happen, and for this to be canceled while the president was practically in the air, it was a sign of disrespect, in my opinion. Anyway, the feeling from Israelis on the ground is that Biden's visit with Netanyahu was to delay, if not head off, the imminent invasion of Gaza. Now, as we're recording this on Thursday morning, Thursday evening Israel time, Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has said that imminent invasion, that invasion was imminent. It was about to begin. Thursday evening Israel time, by the time you see this Friday morning U.S. time, Friday evening Israel time, that invasion probably underway, and we just pray for all of those involved. Topic number 4, escalation. One of the main concerns is that this Israel-Hamas war escalates, and the match that may light the gasoline that's been poured on the fire is the fire at the hospital in Gaza, the Al-Ali Baptist Hospital in Gaza, during which some people reportedly died on Tuesday. Now, that's according to the Palestinian Health Authority, which is under the control of Hamas, so bear that in mind. Claims of deaths, according to the Palestinian Health Authority, 471, but we've seen everything from 200 on the low end to 800 on the high end. Now, all of those numbers are suspect, quite frankly, because as an Israeli intelligence analyst pointed out on I-24 News earlier this week, the building is still standing. The building essentially untouched. The fire was in the parking lot outside. Secondly, no impact crater. Now, Hamas blamed Israel for this, and most in the Arab world have likewise decided to hold Israel responsible. This is why that summit in Amman was canceled. The fact is, if an Israeli F-15 or attack helicopter had launched a missile against that hospital, the hospital would not be standing. There would be an impact crater somewhere. In all likelihood, and the IDF released information and evidence to this effect earlier this week, it was a rocket fired by Palestinian Islamic Jihad from Gaza that misfired, fired from the cemetery behind the hospital. That misfired, hit. The fire was the fuel that it was supposed to carry the rocket into central Israel. So, the other point is that the square footage of the building is just not enough, assuming that the victims, the supposed victims, were patients in the hospital, just allowing for the number of beds required to have that many people in the building. The building's just not big enough for that many victims. But still, we're seeing protests all over the world, including at the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C., where pro-Hamas protesters stormed the rotunda. Protesters storming the U.S. Capitol. Are you sitting down? I am stunned, because we are reliably informed, at least for the last 2.5 years, that doing this is an insurrection, which was attended by U.S. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, where she delivered misinformation, repeating the debunked claim that it was an Israeli missile that hit the hospital in Gaza. We are now awaiting the indictments and the jail sentences for those who stormed the Capitol. I'm being facetious, of course, because you know as well as I do that no one will be held accountable for this. The media, of course, we reported this week, is reverting to the mean, which is justifying their traditional pro-Palestinian slant. Many in the foreign press, I mean foreign to Israel, that is, outside Israel, repeating the disproven claim that it was an Israeli missile that hit that Christian hospital in Gaza. This allows them to go back to doing what they want to do anyway, which is take the Palestinian side, the pro-Hamas side in this account. And of course, they're also fixating on the claim that the Israeli government has been careful not to officially endorse that there were babies at the kibbutz of Kfar Aza that were beheaded by Hamas terrorists. And so the media is seizing on that one small aspect of the story, because more than 150 people were slaughtered there, civilians slaughtered at the Kfar Aza kibbutz, in addition to the 260 civilians slaughtered at the music festival, a festival for peace, by the way, held outside the fence between Gaza and Israel. Because the babies, the Israeli government has not officially confirmed the claim, despite claims from IDF soldiers and even foreign members of the foreign press. A French journalist reporting that, yes, we saw this with our own eyes. Disregarding all of that, apparently because it wasn't published in English, it doesn't count. And so the media now saying, because of this one aspect of this one story, all of the accounts are suspect. There's a lot of misinformation there, and so we just can't trust any of it. That's, again, this is just a bizarre mindset as far as I'm concerned. Okay, yes, they killed 1,300 civilians in a terror attack, but because we can't prove that they beheaded babies, well, that's apparently the takeaway for CNN. Our sources on the ground in Israel, namely our friends Messianic Rabbi Zev Poret and Aaron Lipkin, report the situation there is more serious than we're seeing in most Western media accounts. A lot of our information comes from I-24 News, which is an English language news network in Tel Aviv. In a nutshell, the missile attacks are ongoing and practically nonstop. Joe Biden said that Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Israelis disagree, claiming that according to Aaron anyway, Hamas represents most of the Muslim Arabs in Israel and Gaza, and he says that Israeli Jews have concluded that the only long-term solution to what is happening right now is to transfer or expel Muslims from the state of Israel. Obviously, that's not something that will happen peacefully or easily, but 14 centuries of Islamic history and its relations with the West should show us that that religion is fundamentally and diametrically opposed to any nation that does not submit to the will of Allah. And Tuesday morning, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, speaking of escalation, ordered about 2,000 troops, American troops in Europe, to prepare to deploy to the Middle East. Germany, you're seeing German Special Forces troops here, has decided to deploy some of those special ops units to Cyprus as it prepares for potential deployment to the Middle East. So, yeah, things may actually widen. And interestingly enough, just like that, Ukraine is off the front page. Or topic number 3, is it? ABC News reporting Wednesday that the Biden administration is going to request a foreign aid package of $100 billion in taxpayer funds, tying aid to Ukraine to aid to Israel. Of that $100 billion, $10 billion for Israel, $90 billion for Ukraine. This faces an uphill fight in the U.S. House of Representatives, where Republicans in particular have been skeptical about sending more money into the black hole that is the Ukrainian war against Russia. Support for Israel, strong, bipartisan. Ukraine, not so much. But the Biden administration is going to try to get it through by tying the two together. And in a not unrelated story, by the way, the U.S. military, speaking of escalation, because Iran is now holding the United States accountable for what Israel is supposed to have done, again, going back to the hospital in Gaza. The U.S. military thwarted a drone attack on U.S. soldiers stationed at Iraq's Ain al-Assad base. these launched by Iran-backed Shia militia units. And topic number 2, the speaker race. Jim Jordan, representative from Ohio, still not the Speaker of the House. He did not seek an additional vote on Thursday, instead backing a plan to give Speaker pro tem, Representative Patrick McHenry from North Carolina, additional powers. This would allow the House then to conduct some business and at least pass some legislation. Jordan continues to be the Speaker designate. He reserves the option to ask for a vote for Speaker at any time going forward. He still needs to swing about 18 votes his way in order to become the next Speaker of the House. Coming up, how not to get a free meal. That's ahead on the Friday Five.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of this incredible new book in the Before Genesis Master Collection. When you order the Before Genesis Master Collection from the skywatchtvstore.com, you'll receive the brand new book, Before Genesis, The Unauthorized History of Tohu, Bohu, and the Chaos Dragon in the Land Before Time by Dr. Thomas Horn and Donna Howell. In this phenomenal new work, you'll learn about the debate raging between the Old Earth and the Young Earth creationist groups, what the Earth was like during the without form and void era of Genesis 1-2, how ancient archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Doorway of the Serpent point to an intelligent race of beings on Earth alive before the time of Adam and under Lucifer's fallen influence. And for the first time ever, the conclusion to the events of Genesis that merges all contributing voices from not only the young and old creationist groups, but the scientific community as well, into one balanced and agreeable climax. But that's not all. You'll also receive the amazing DVD, What Lies Beneath, The Lost Secrets of the Watchers Below Göbekli Tepe, featuring archaeologist and author Dr. Aaron Judkins and best-selling author Derek Gilbert as they reveal Göbekli Tepe's historical use as a place of watchers worship, the evidence of a cult that venerated human skulls and reptilian creators, and the links between the god of Göbekli Tepe and the Bible. Also included in this must-have master collection are the digital, downloadable e-book versions of the Earth's earliest ages, Unearthing the Lost World of the Cloud Eaters, and the Apocrypha, including the Book of Enoch. These 3 masterpiece works will be available for download immediately when you place your order for the Before Genesis Master Collection and are being included in this offer absolutely free. All of these items hold a retail value of over $85. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Before Genesis Master Collection right now.
Item number 1 today, we cannot recommend this as a way to get a free meal. Press reporting that a Lithuanian man living in Spain tried to get a free meal by faking a heart attack. According to Spanish police, this is not the first time he's done it. In fact, it is the 20th time he has tried this trick this year. Most recently at an upscale restaurant where he tried to sneak out without paying. Staff caught him. Then he said, oh, well, I just have to go to my hotel to get my wallet. They didn't buy that either. At which point the gentleman flopped to the ground, began clutching at his heart. No word as to whether he was saying, Elizabeth, I'm coming to meet you. That's the big one. Anyway, Spanish police were called. Gentleman was taken into custody. And again, 20th time he has tried this year. How not to get a free meal. Skywatch TV depends on your support to do what we do, and what we do is support the work at Whispering Ponies Ranch. More information on the mission there and our partners at Royal Family Kids at whisperingponiesranch.com. But during the month of October, for your gift of any amount, if you're in the U.S. or Canada, we'll send you a copy of the novel Ebenezer. Picks up the story of Scrooge after Christmas. How was his life changed? For your gift of any amount, no minimum. Find out more at skywatchtv.com. Look for the red donate button. Follow the link at skywatchtvstore.com or call us toll-free during business hours, 844-750-4985. This week on Skywatch TV, Our 6-week series on the book Before Genesis by Donna Howell comes out, or continues, I should say. What role did dinosaurs play in God's creation? Where do they fit in all of this? How do we make that consistent with the idea that God created things and then said after 6 days, okay, this is good? Well, yeah, it can lead to some rather heated discussions between Christians. You'll find our broadcast schedule for the over-the-air program, skywatchtv.com/channels. Of course, you can watch the program right now at our website. All of our video content always there, skywatchtv.com. It's on our Roku and Apple TV channels as well. If you have a set-top box, make sure you've got the Skywatch TV channel there. You can also watch it now at the Skywatch TV main program channel on YouTube, youtube.com at Skywatch TV now. At 5 and 10 is for us, the main program. We split them so that if I say something, it doesn't get the main show canceled. Also, rumble.com/Skywatch TV, or better yet, download our free app to your smartphone or tablet. All of our video content always there, and because it's our app, we won't get canceled. It's available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. Tom Horn, as of this recording, has shown amazing resilience given the number of times they've had to shock his heart to restore normal rhythm. Thursday morning, reportedly, Tom having some trouble oxygenating his blood, and it's not clear as to what the cause of that was. So your prayers, continued prayers, are requested. The best way to keep up to date with what is happening with Tom Horn. Joe Horn has been doing a wonderful job, especially under the circumstances of keeping everybody informed. You can follow his video updates at his page on Facebook or the Skywatch TV page on Facebook. If you have the Skywatch TV app, we've also been posting those to our app, so you can get those sent directly to your smartphone or tablet. Again, iOS, Android, Amazon Kindle Fire. If you've got one of those devices, get the Skywatch TV app, and Joe has been posting video updates there as well. And obviously that's a lot more immediate than these daily news updates, which are generally recorded almost a day in advance. So we're still continuing to pray. We are thankful for the improvement that Tom has shown in the last 48 hours, but he is not out of the woods yet. So your continued prayers as we head into the weekend, very much appreciated. And again, with any urgent or imminent news regarding Tom's condition, Joe will have that through the weekend on his Facebook page, the Skywatch TV page on Facebook, and the Skywatch TV app. Until Monday then, thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.